morning students. Today I will show you a Java program that uses labels, text fields and button controls to accept an amount in rupees and then convert the same to dollar. So the very first thing you have to do is to create a project and then draw an interface like this as shown in this slide. The interface has three labels which are currency converter, amount in RS and amount in dollar. Let us name currency converter as JLabel1, amount in RS as JLabel2 and amount in dollar as JLabel3 using the property window in NetBeans. There are two text fields, one corresponding to amount in RS and the other corresponding to amount in dollar, as you can see in the interface. Let us name the text field corresponding to amount in RS as JTextField1 and the text field corresponding to amount in dollar as JTextField2 using the property window in NetBeans. One more control is there in the interface, which is the button with the text convert. Let us name this button as JButton1 using the property window. Now, the purpose of this Java program is to convert any amount that is in Indian rupees into the American dollar. And for that, you have to supply an input in the text field corresponding to amount in rupees or amount in RS, that is JTextField1. The input has to be a number as it denotes an amount. Now whatever Indian amount, we supply it into the text field named JTextField1, that will be divided by the currency rate, that is 66.54, to be converted into the American dollar. And once the Indian rupees gets divided by the currency rate 66.54, we get the amount in American dollar, which will be displayed in the text field corresponding to amount in dollar, that is JTextField2. And this whole conversion takes place only on clicking the button with the text convert, that is JButton1. Now let me explain this with the help of the Java program as shown in this slide. Just follow the Java program line by line as I explain. The first line declares a floating point variable called currency rate having the value 66.54. We need it because, as I already told, for Indian rupees to get converted into dollar, it has to be divided by the currency rate, that is 66.54. The Java statement is declared as float followed by the variable name currency rate equal to 66.54 followed by a semicolon. Now remember that every Java statement must end with a semicolon. Then come to the next line, which declares two floating point variables, that is amount in RS and amount in dollar. We need these because we have to supply an input value to the variable amount in RS and then display the result in the variable amount in dollar. The statement is declared as float followed by the variable amount in RS, amount in dollar, and then a semicolon. Then come to the next line. Now before I explain the statement in this line, let's first supply an input value 100 in the text field corresponding to amount in RS. You can see this clearly in the diagram of this slide. That is, we will supply the input value 100 in JTextField1. Now let's come to the Java statement shown in the third line. The statement is declared as amount in RS equal to float.parseFloat, then within bracket you have JTextField1.getText. Now coming back to the input value 100 that we have supplied in JTextField1, this input value 100 will be first extracted from JText field 1 using the getText method. This is done using the statement JText field 1 dot getText, and then the extracted value from JText field 1, which is 100 in this case, will be converted into a decimal representation using the parseFloat method. This is shown by the statement float.parseFloat, then within bracket JText field 1 dot getText, and once the value 100 gets converted into decimal, it becomes 100.0. So the supplied input, which was 100, finally gets converted into the floating point value 100.0. This value 100.0 then gets stored in the variable amount in RS. This is represented by the statement amount in RS equal to float.parseFloat, then within bracket you have JText field 1 dot getText followed by a semicolon. Now come to the next line. Here the variable amount in RS, which holds the value 100.0, will be divided by the currency rate, that is 66.54. This is represented by the statement amount in RS divided by currency rate followed by a semicolon, where division is denoted by the symbol slash. Once the division is done, the result of the division, which is 1.5028, will be assigned to the variable amount in dollar. So amount in dollar now gets the value 1.5028. This is represented by the statement amount in dollar equal to amount in RS divided by currency rate. Then come to the next line, which of course is the last line of the Java program. Here the decimal value 1.5028 that was stored in the variable named amount in dollar gets converted into a string using the statement string.value of within bracket amount in dollar. So 1.5028, which was a decimal value before, now becomes a string value. Now the question is, why have we done this? That is, why have we converted that decimal value 1.5028 into a string value? This is because if we want the dollar value, that is 1.5028, to be displayed in the second text field corresponding to the label amount in dollar, that is JText field 2, we have to convert its type to string, as text fields accept only string values. Now once the value, that is 1.5028, in the variable named amount in dollar gets converted into string, it can be displayed in JText field 2 using the setText method, and this is represented by the statement JText field 2 dot setText. Then within bracket you have string dot value of amount in dollar. And this is the end of the Java program, which converts the amount in RS into dollar. So finally, when you supply the input value as 100 for Indian rupees, it is converted into the decimal value, that is 100.0, and then it gets divided by the currency rate, that is 66.54, which gives the value 1.5028. This value is the dollar amount, which is again converted into a string to be displayed in the text field.